All right, class, lesson 40. We're writing quotients. Now, that's answer to a division problem with mixed numbers. There's going to be some times where we don't want to leave it with a remainder. So we're going to have some mixed numbers in here so we can actually divide them up. You can divide your paper, your power-up paper, into sixths. Let's check out this picture here. The picture below, I'm on page 246, if you're looking in your books, 246. This picture here below shows some pot pies on a shelf. Looks like 2 whole ones and a half. We see 2 whole pot pies and 1/2 of another pot pie. There are 2 and 1/2 pot pies on the shelf. Using digits, we write 2 1/2 this way. So go ahead and write it. Now remember, your fraction should only be as tall as your whole number. All right, now let's get to example number 1. It says, use a mixed number to name the number of shaded circles shown here. So let's count up all the whole ones first. Okay, 1. I know it was really difficult. And let's count up the fraction, 1/2. All right. Boom, 1 and 1/2 circles. I know. Here we go. It'll get not much harder. Some problems have answers that are mixed numbers. For example, what is the width of the rectangle formed by folding the shaded notebook in half? All right, so we're trying to find this here. So actually we have 1/2 of 11. So let's go put this in example number 2 spot here. We'll put the next one down there. So we have 11, and we're going to try to cut it in half. How many times does 2 go into 1? None. How many times 2 go into 11? 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10, and we got 1 left over. Now, in the past, we'd write remainder 1 here. But today, we actually want to do it like this. With 1 left over, we're going to take the 1, we'll make it our numerator, and then you take your divisor, the number you're dividing by, and that becomes your denominator. So you got 5 and 1/2 inches. Now, it wouldn't make sense for us to say, oh yeah, well, we fold this paper in half and we got 5 remainder 1 inches. So this is when we make it a mixed number. Remember, to have a mixed number, you take a whole number and a fraction and you mix them together. All right, let's take a look at example number 2. Paco, El Gerardo, Lucy will equally share 7 chicken pot pies. How many pies are there for each person? So you got 7 pot pies, and you got 3 people. Now you notice that 3 does not go into 7 evenly. So you know you're going to have a fraction of one of those last pies. So the book liked to draw it first. You got Paco, you got El Dorado, and you got Lucy. And you got 7 pies. 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you. 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you. And that's 6. I got 1 left over. So I'm going to take that pie that's left over, and I got 1, 2, 3 people. Let's cut it into 3 pieces. Let's give this piece, and this piece, and this piece. And so in other words, you'd have 2 and 1/3, 2 and 1/3, 2 and 1/3. Well, let's do it with division. How many times 3 go into 7? 3 goes into 7 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract, you get 1. Remember, the remainder becomes your numerator, and your divisor becomes your denominator. 2 and 1/3 pot pies. Okay? All right, let's check it out. Example number 3, down on the bottom of the next page. It said a grocer divided a 5-pound block of mozzarella cheese into 4 equal parts. The pieces were then wrapped and displayed for sale. Which quotient represents the weight of pounds of each piece? And so now they gave you 2. They said, hey, the mozzarella cheese looks really good. You want to buy some? It's 1 pound remainder 1. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? So you can have 1 pound and 1/4. So 1 and 1/4 pounds. So let's go ahead and divide that one here. We got 5 pounds of cheese. We're going to divide it into 4 chunks. 4 goes into 5 ones. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract, you get 1. Your remainder becomes your numerator, and your divisor becomes your denominator. 1 and 1/4 pounds of delicious cheese. I love cheese. All right, we got a little room down here. Let's see if we can't get some of these taken care of in our lesson practice. First of all, it says name the mixed number. Count the whole numbers first. A is 1. Count the fractions. 3. 3 is my denominator, and 1 shaded 1 and 1/3. Let's see if we can't fit B in there. Count the whole numbers with me. 1, 2, and hopefully you can see these a little bit faster. That's a 4th, right? 2 and 1/4. Now it says draw and shade circles represent each mixed number. So now you got to draw them. 3 and 1/2. 1 pizza, 2 pizza, 3 pizza. Divide this one in half. 3 and a half. And D, 1 and 3/4. 1 and 3/4. All right, guys, that was pretty good. You guys take care of making sure that we're writing all of our lesson 40s as mixed numbers. No more remainders. Now, in some of the other lessons, we're still going to have some remainders, but in this lesson, anytime you see in lesson 40 underneath the numbers, that's when you're going to make sure that you give it as a mixed number. All right, let's take a look at some math problems in our next video.